Encroachment isn't a new problem, nor is it unique to Oceana or military bases alone, but once again it is an issue. December 16, 1980, an F-4 Phantom crashes at Fentress Field in Chesapeake. Both flyers are killed, but the crash site is a muddy field. September 1981, and the Navy fears a similar crash at Oceana might send a stricken jet into Lynn Haven Mall.
That was not a smart place to put that mall. It directly underlies the pattern for runway 5. Almost every aircraft that is landing at Oceana on runway 5 in our overhead pattern will overfly the mall.
Since the 1970s, high noise and accident potential areas around airfields have been mapped out in the ICOOS program. The mall is not in a high-risk zone, but Jewell says being under the approach to the main runway puts it in jeopardy anyway. Still, mall officials say they're not worried at all about a crash.
I guess perhaps we have more confidence in the flyers and their abilities and their airplanes than maybe some of the Navy people do.
Hyatt adds the current site was really the only one ever considered for the mall. But the conflict between developing Virginia Beach and protecting the airspace needed by Oceana goes far beyond Lynn Haven Mall. The pavilion, for instance, is in a high-risk area, and then there was quite a flap about a high-rise proposed for this very area. That, too, would have been in the high-risk area. But the problems aren't likely to end there. What about future developments? We'll hear some suggested solutions tomorrow night. In Virginia Beach, I'm Terry Zahn, the Daily News. Oceana is one of the Navy's busiest jet bases, yet it has about the smallest area, 5,000 acres instead of the 20,000 the Navy says it needs. That surrounding land today houses neighbors like Lynn Haven Mall. The site had to be rezoned to permit the mall. The Navy was against it for safety reasons, and so were some Virginia Beach city councilmen like Mayor J. Henry McCoy. However,
you've got a $60 million project that's been put in the city, and what it does for the tax base of this city is fantastic. And certainly the citizens of the city love Lynn Haven Mall, so you can see what the difficulty really is.
Both the city and the Navy agree that situations like this one can be a source of potential problems. The question is what to do about future developments.
The solution really would have to be the Navy to buy, the federal government to buy the air rights of these people around the air station, and therefore everybody would be fairly compensated for what they have to give up.
The Navy is doing just that when it can get the money. But in the case of already developed property like the mall and the pavilion, the costs are prohibitive. One Navy suggestion is for a bigger role in city planning.
And hopefully we'll have in the future a member, possibly a voting member, on the Virginia Beach Planning Commission. I think that would be to everyone's advantage.
But that's the future. For now, Jewell still worries about the potential for a mall catastrophe.
It would be so much better if that mall had been built further to the south or further to the west, so that it did not underlie the pattern, so that you could eliminate that potential.
Lynn Haven Mall is not in a high-risk zone, but Jewell points to 2 crashes nearby, noting they weren't in high-risk areas either. In Virginia Beach, Terry Zahn, the Daily News.